Welcome to Bashinator Unleashed. Welcome to my recap video of the most recent UFC event that just took place, Emmett versus Murphy. I will be breaking down all the fights from early prelims to the main event, starting with the early prelim fight of Vanessa Demopoulos versus Talita Alencar. I believe I chose Vanessa Demopoulos to win this fight. It was a very low confident pick. She's just a very not good grappler at all. She's a kind of a point fighter, tries to stay on the outside. Not a lot of damage. She is kind of just known for being kind of tough. Talita, she is a judo and jiu-jitsu black belt. She was able to implement her plan. She was able to get her down. In the first round, I believe after the second minute, she got her down and just held her for the rest of the round. From that point, she knew that, okay, let me just take this idiot down each time, and I would just control her the whole round. So, shot on her in the first 15 seconds of the second round, got her down, held her down. Third round, same thing. Vanessa really didn't have anything to offer from the ground, no submission offense, and her stand-up, she wasn't able to stand up at all. She wasn't even really trying to get up, no scrambling. Clearly was able to just control her pretty much all three rounds. So, pretty poor performance from Vanessa. Maybe she should get cut. She's never going to be a champion, never going to be a contender. Talita's probably not going to be a contender either, so to lose to her could be it for Vanessa. Moving on to the next fight, it was Martin Buday versus Satybaldiev. I chose Martin Buday in the fight with Kennedy and Chekuwoku, I believe, although that fight got canceled, so I didn't have a prediction up for this fight. Martin Buday, he is a European, I believe, judo champion. He doesn't ever really use it that much, honestly. He is just kind of a volume puncher. He was able to get Satybaldiev up against the fence and just kind of control him. But when Satybaldiev was able to get the range, he would throw these mean 3, 4, 5 punch combinations on Buday. Only problem was that he wasn't really landing much of them. He'd only land 1 or 2 of his 5, 6 punch combinations. So Buday was able to just pretty much each round keep backing him up. There was, I think in the third round, where Satybaldiev straight rocked Buday, had him wobbled. I think he went down for a second. Did recover pretty quickly, and Satybaldiev wasn't able to get the finish. Buday, I believe, got the unanimous decision. Could have been a split, but it did go Buday's way. Moving on to the next fight, we have Victor Henry versus Pedro Falcao. I had a very low confident pick in Victor Henry. He is not ever really going to be a contender. I believe he is 36, I believe. He has Josh Barnett in his corner, the famous heavyweight. He had his last 2 fights. I believe he got groin shotted in one, and just obviously he got groin shotted, but he quit. He got carried out of the cage by his coach, Josh Barnett. So that was kind of a weird visual. And his last fight before this one, he got pieced up by Rob Font. Not too much shame in that. Rob Font does have fast hands, but going into this fight, I was like, I've never really heard of Falcao, never seen him fight. I guess I'll choose Henry. Henry was basically just trying to keep this fight on the feet, stay on the outside, hit him with damaging shots to the body, and Falcao was trying to get him down each round. He did get him. Basically what happened, first round, Henry hurting him, Falcao gets him down with 2 minutes left and controls him. So green light, or light goes off in Falcao's head. Okay, let me just keep trying to control him, and I can win this fight. Henry, obviously knowing I need to scramble, get up at all costs, or if I'm going to lose this fight. Henry is able to start damaging Falcao to the body starting round 2. Falcao gets him down, controls him all round. So now it's 1-1 if you gave Henry the first round, because he did hurt Falcao. Falcao did have the last 2 minutes of control time, but didn't do much damage. Round 3, 1-1, all to fight for. Falcao's obviously shooting like a madman, and Henry starts finally with these good judo throws, pretty much a head and arm over the hip throw, and able to get top position each time. Falcao would be able to reverse it sometimes, but Henry would be able to scramble out of it. Falcao wouldn't get any damage off when he had him down, meaning that when Henry was able to get up in the third round, unlike the second, Henry was actually throwing good shots and hurting him to the body. So, pretty clear victory for Victor Henry. I believe he was a minus 200 favorite. I don't even think I bet on him, which is kind of annoying because it's pretty good value, but is what it is. Henry gets the win. Falcao exposed by someone who's not that good. Moving on to the next fight, we had Loma Lookboonme versus Istella Nunes. I was very high on Loma. She's a Muay Thai fighter who has I believe over 200 Muay Thai fights in Thailand. You can see it with her high guard, kind of just stepping with the front leg, high knee. Istella is a kickboxer in her own right, so you were hoping with the Loma. I was very high on her. I put her in a lot of my parlays. I was just pretty much hoping for her. Let's see her get the better of her on the feet. Not that confident in her grappling. Istella, haven't really seen her grapple. Wasn't that confident in it though. Loma starts the first round. Good kicks. Istella's throwing punches pretty much. It's just punches versus kicks. 1 minute left. Loma goes for the takedown. Nunes stuffs it and gets top position. Right there, I'm thinking, okay, first 4 minutes, that was pretty close. I guess they're going to give it to Istella because she won the last minute with the top control. Round 2, Estella's like, okay, I got her down for the last minute. Let's see if we can do it again. And she does it literally all 5 minutes. Very frustrating, very annoying to watch. Starting round 3, okay, could be 2-0 Nunes, very likely. Hoping it's 1-1. Round 3 starts, and Loma is able to start throwing more shots than Istella on the feet. Istella goes for a takedown. Bam, head and arm throw. Loma's on top. Gets some good shots. Not too many, though. Gets back up. Istella tries to close the distance again. Boom, another head and arm throw. And Loma's able to finish the fight on top. So she got the split decision. I felt pretty lucky, honestly. She was like a minus 800 favorite, but with the first round, it was so close in that first 4 minutes, and for Istella to get the last minute of control time, it could have very easily been 2-0 Nunes. So pretty lucky to get the Loma win. She did get the split decision victory, 2-1. Very happy with that. Thank you. Very lucky for that. Next fight was Rhys McKee versus Daniel Frunza. I chose the underdog Rhys McKee in this fight, Skeletor. Very long, lanky, white boy. You could see it with like 2 jabs from Frunza. His face was just completely red. No fault of his own. He's just super white. Although he has hands. So he was hurting Frunza within like 3 minutes. Had him drop 3 times. Frunza's eye was completely swollen closed. Had a big cut underneath his eye. 4th minute, 5th minute. Rhys McKee starting to slow down a little bit. Frunza is starting to pick up some momentum, so it was a bit annoying that Rhys McKee didn't get him out in the first 3 minutes. Frunza was picking up momentum, but luckily for us Rhys McKee bettors, between the round 1 and 2, the doctor came in, and really surprisingly, you see the eye swollen, you see the huge cut, and I believe they stopped it for a cut on his lip, so I didn't even really notice that. I just thought that, okay, I guess it's getting stopped for the eye swollen, being shut basically, but nope, it was the lip, and Rhys McKee gets the victory. Kind of lucky for him, honestly. Obviously, he was destroying him in that first 3 minutes, but who knows what would have happened in that next 2 rounds. Frunza was kind of picking it up. McKee was slowing down a little bit, so good victory for Rhys McKee. Moving on to the next fight, we have Diana Belbita versus Diane Barbosa. I was very high on Barbosa. A lot of people thought that she would get the finish within the first 15 minutes, and that is what she did. First round submission. Belbita, I was calling her little princesa. I was calling her princesa all week. She is the warrior princess, her nickname. I didn't even realize that, but she's just a little no power volume puncher, 3-4 punch combinations, tries to keep throwing a little overhand right. Landed it like 5 times on Barbosa, and Barbosa just ate it. Barbosa's not even a striker. She's a judo, jiu-jitsu black belt, and she was just eating Belbita's shots on the feet. Barbosa was able to get her down, I think, like maybe 3.5 minutes into the first round, and it was pretty much GG from there. She moved to mount, and she got the arm triangle finish like 45 seconds later. Belbita never really had a chance. Should be cut. She's never going to ever do anything in that division, never going to be a contender. Good win for Barbosa. Doesn't really say too much. Again, Belbita is she's not even a fighter. She's just like some girl that, I don't know. It's like some like athlete probably, but not a fighter, not tough. Got her arm blasted by Molly McCann, and McCann is bad, as we all saw her last fight. So good win for Barbosa. Next fight, we have Torrez Finney versus Robert Valentin. I went with Torrez Finney. He, this whole fight, just wrestled. He thought this was a wrestling match. Did get the win. One judge, I believe he's a boxing judge, Tony Weeks, gave it to Valentin 30-27. That was pretty crazy. He didn't win all 3 rounds. At best, he won 1 round. He did just keep elbowing Finney every takedown to the back of the head, so that was pretty annoying as a Finney bettor. Finney just went for the takedowns each round and didn't throw any strikes. It was just nonstop takedowns. Getting a little concerning because Valentin was hitting him so many times to the back of the head. I was like, okay, he might actually have to let go, be hurt, or start slowing down. But he was able to just keep that up all 15 minutes. Bet Dana is going to be pretty pissed with that. Again, no one wants to see someone just wrestle, hold someone up against the fence all 3 rounds. Pretty boring fight. Finney gets the win, but that wasn't impressive at all. I don't want to bet on him again. He didn't throw any strikes in an MMA fight. He was just trying to wrestle all 15 minutes. And Valentin, if you look at this fight, Finney is just yoked. So Valentin, it was always going to be hard to stuff the takedowns, but didn't really ever hurt him. He's never going to amount to anything. So get Valentin out of here. Moving on to the next fight, we have Osbourne versus Luis Gurule. I chose Osbourne in this fight. He was like a plus 200 underdog, I believe. That really wasn't a high confident pick. That was just more based off I have never seen Gurule fight before. Osbourne I knew had a lot of experience against the better fighters in the flyweight division, win or lose. Hasn't won a lot of them, but he has fought the better guys. So I did think that would get him through this fight. First round, he was getting the better of Gurule on the feet. Gurule got this huge slam takedown with like a minute left and was able to control him for the rest of the round. So at that point, you would think, oh boy, here we go. Gurule's getting success in the wrestling, so he's just going to keep trying that. Well, he was trying that in round 2. Ode was able to get up, and he was able to just piece him up on the feet. You could almost just see it, like 2 minutes into the second round, just the momentum switch where Ode landed like 2 shots, and you could see it in Gurule's face where he was just slowing. Ode was starting to just put it on him more, and maybe like 50 seconds later, he had him out of there. So good win for Ode. He beat a completely no-name, unranked fighter. Never going to do anything for his career. I think Ode's like 36, 37, but he did get the win regardless, so good win for him. Moving on to the next fight, we have Brad Tavares versus Gerald Meerschaert. I thought Tavares could just win this fight by decision, which is what happened. He's not a good striker, not a good wrestler. He's just very balanced, okay at all. Gerald, he's pretty much submission or bust, no hands. This fight was very not exciting to watch. A lot of just Tavares getting Gerald up against the fence. Very little strikes, low significant strike count, I think, by the end of the fight for both of these guys. Gerald got him down. I think he had like 1 close submission attempt in round 2, but obviously didn't get it. Tavares was able to keep it on the feet and just throw very little strikes and get him up against the fence. So both of them gone, honestly. Gerald, if anything, if you're going to keep one, I'll keep Gerald just because he's always kind of live with, okay, he might get a Hail Mary submission. Tavares, he's never going to get finish. He's only going to ever win by decision. Probably just will keep losing anytime he fights someone good. Moving on to the next fight. I'm over those guys. Next fight, Cortavius Romeus versus Lee Chang-ho. I will admit when I'm wrong. Lee, I thought was this little prissy point fighter on the outside, and boy was I wrong. He is Korean Khabib. He gets you down, and he throws damage from the mount. Romeus, just off his sheer power, he's a strong little tank kind of build. He was able to kind of defend himself in the first round with the wrestling. He wasn't really doing good technique. He was doing these big explosive movements just to get out of dangerous positions with all muscle, basically. So that was only going to last so long. Lee got it into the second round. He was already controlling him pretty much all of round 1. Round 2, Lee gets mount again for like the 4th time in this fight, and he's able to just keep teeing off on him. Cortavius can't get up, and I believe it was Jason Herzog steps in and stops the fight. Lee, he was actually pretty good. I think Lee is, let's see, Lee is load. Okay, well, Google's saying 49 years old, so that's just wrong. I don't think he's that old. I think he's like maybe 32, if anything. So that was a good win for him. Romeus isn't amazing, but he is this big, strong, tough guy. So for Lee to just completely mollywop him each round like that, Romeus was never having any success in that fight at any point. He was just basically playing on the back foot all fight, in the feet and on the ground, just trying to escape from Lee's grip. Good win for Lee. Next fight, we have the co-main event, Pat Sabatini versus Joe Anderson Brito. I also chose the underdog in this fight, Pat Sabatini. And I said either Joe Anderson's going to knock him out or Pat's going to shoot in the first 30 seconds each round and just control him each round. And that is what happened. Very, very boring fight to watch. Pat did get the win. Obviously, I'm happy he was an underdog and I got it right. But he's never going to amount to anything. Pat Sabatini's like a jiu-jitsu black belt, but wasn't ever really showing any jiu-jitsu. He was just trying to control Joe Anderson. Brito's been kind of exposed his last 2 fights. He lost to William Gomez, I believe, and then he just lost to Pat Sabatini. He's pretty much just knockout or bust at this point. He's never winning any decisions. He doesn't have the volume or control time to do that. And Pat Sabatini, he's either going to control you for 14 minutes of the 15, or he's just going to get KO'd in like 2 minutes. So it was the first option. He did get the control time each round. He did get the win. Not exciting. Pat Sabatini, he just kind of looks like this smaller little Calvin Kattar, but he's just a wrestler. Good win, I guess, but never going to amount to anything, probably. The both of them. And the last fight, we have Josh Emmett versus Lerone Murphy. I chose Josh Emmett inside the distance. No, I chose Josh Emmett decision, no action. It did go to decision, so my bet would have just voided. You would have gotten your money back. I've never been a huge fan of Josh Emmett. He does have those big powerbomb hands. He wasn't able to really connect on Lerone all fight. He did have like 1 or 2 big shots, but even those didn't even phase Lerone. He was able to just keep him away for all 5 rounds. I think in the end, I think it was either split decision borderline or unanimous decision where too many rounds were going to Josh Emmett. He really didn't win any round. If anything, he won 1. It was a pretty clear, like, 49-46 to me. Josh Emmett didn't have any big moments. He had the big slam in round 1 where he completely elevated Lerone, and then instead of, like, most people where you kind of just throw them down and land on top of them, he scooped him, lifted him, and just threw him almost, where Lerone just landed on his back, and then Josh tried to get on top and held it for, like, 15 seconds. So, kind of it for Josh Emmett. He's, like, 40 years old now. He's kind of knockout or bust. Didn't get the win. Lerone's like number 9, I believe, or so in the featherweight division. I think Josh was higher ranked, so Lerone's going to take his spot. Josh is just going to go back farther in the rankings. I thought he might have just retired, honestly. I guess he just wants more money, which is fair. He'll probably have maybe 1 or 2 more fights just for the money. I think he said this was his last run at the title, so it wasn't really a run ever, but he didn't get the win, so he'll probably just get 1 or 2 more fights for the money and then say hasta la vista to the UFC. So, pretty good career for Josh Emmett. Did have those pretty good highlight reel knockouts, but good win for Lerone Murphy. Lerone Murphy, will he ever become champion? He is pretty technical. I guess he could. We'll have to wait and see what happens with him. Coming up this next Saturday, we have Lopez versus Volkanovski in the main event. I will be watching that fight. I'm very excited for that whole card from prelim to main event. All of the fights are pretty good. The pay-per-view is probably one of the best ones for like the last 5 months. This is actually a really good pay-per-view. Pretty annoying we lost Carlos Prates versus Jeff Neal on that fight card, but it's still going to be really good. So looking forward to that fight card. I will be making my predictions video for that probably in the next 2 days. I'm going to make my soccer predictions video tomorrow. And I will be recapping also the previous soccer bets from the week before. I appreciate you guys watching. Please, please, please leave comments. Please like and subscribe. I want to hear from you guys. I'm looking forward to making these videos every day. I've gotten excited. And this YouTube thing, I really want it to work. So I really want to hear from you guys. I really want to make a community. And I look forward to making my next video. Thank you guys for tuning in.